Crystal Palace, Liverpool. Speaking of Liverpool, Crystal Palace unbeaten in 17 now.
Crazy.
Oliver Glasner, despite even all like the Marc Guéhi stuff at the end and all of the noise surrounding Crystal Palace, they ended last season really well. Obviously, then picked up the FA Cup, then started well, playing Liverpool in the Community Shield, beating them on penalties after Mo Salah hit Rose Ed with his penalty, and they've kind of continued going on almost how they left off, continuing to be unbeaten, and then host Liverpool at Selhurst Park. Is this a chance for Liverpool, say a chance for the rest of the league to see Liverpool drop points?
We can hope.
I think it's one of those things that did you say 17 that they're
17
unbeaten.
So that's
like
crazy.
this is going to be a test for Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool are not even at full pelt yet, right? So for them to go to Selhurst Park and get a result, it will take some doing. They're obviously still not. In terms of Palace, they have obviously lost Eze. There is this whole Marc Guéhi conversation as well with Liverpool. But I think it's a tough place to go at the best of times, even if you are like at your very best. I think this is probably one of the challenges, and AGT was saying it on our show yesterday, that this will be one of probably the biggest challenges that Liverpool will face.
Yeah, I think when you look at the form that Palace are in, like you say, 17 games without a loss. Last time they played Liverpool, they beat them, Community Shield. It's definitely a tough place to go for any team, especially under Glasner. What he's done to that team, winning the FA Cup, is remarkable. So yeah, it's a tough game. My worry as an Arsenal fan is that, like you say, Liverpool haven't even got out of third gear yet. If it clicks, they can beat anyone in the league. I'm just hoping it goes the opposite way. I'm hoping that. I don't want to say they've been riding their luck, but they've been scoring late goals. They've been winning games late. They haven't necessarily played the best. So it could go two ways for me. They could click and they could just go upwards. Isak integrates into that team. They shore it up defensively because they've been conceding quite a lot of goals. I think they've 3 times have had a 2-0 lead. They've come back to 2-2 and then eventually won. So look, you look at players like Mateta. You look at players like Sarr and Adam Wharton in the middle. The Palace have got a very good team. So I'm hoping it does go that way for Liverpool, that they feel the pressure a little bit and then they start dropping points. Because if it goes the other way and they win, Arsenal got a very tough game this weekend as well, and could be a long day in the Premier League title race.
A sign of a good team is getting these results when you're not playing at your best, and that's a sign of a great mentality in champions, right? And Liverpool are very, very good at doing that. Totally agree with you. In terms of defensively, they have not been the Liverpool that we know them to be. And let's be honest, if they do get an injury, then they are a little bit stuffed.
Well, yeah, we've seen Leone go down with ACL the other day.
Exactly.
So
I think it would just be Joe
out.
Gomez.
Arne Slot today's confirmed it's a year.
A year, wow.
He's expected to be out until next year.
And he's so young as well. Like it's just such a shame to see that happen. It really is. But I still feel like if they go to Selhurst and get a result, I mean, that'll be 8 points that you're playing catch up to already. Yep. Well, I mean, obviously we're going to talk more about Arsenal when we come to the fixture. But that is, I mean, for me as a Spurs fan, it's an almighty hill for you lot to climb, and it just means I just get to sit here and lay back and relax. Yeah.
Laurie, I want to get your take on how you think Marc Guéhi is going to be thinking. How's he going to be thinking, feeling, and how's he going to approach this game? Because he agreed to sign for Liverpool to the point where he did his medical. So when he was doing his medical, he probably had their training kit on. He was in Liverpool colours. He had that bird on his chest. And then obviously 2 hours passed. They added the deal sheet thing, 2 extra hours, 9 p.m. Still nothing happened. He's now a Crystal Palace player, and I think he's commanded himself so well on the pitch so far, Guéhi has. But this is a very unique game for him, because it's also not just he's playing the team that he agreed to sign for, it's in front of the fans that he agreed to leave behind almost.
Well, I mean, obviously I don't know Marc Guéhi, but judging by what I've seen and how he plays and his approach, I think you could describe him as a consummate pro. So that being said, I expect him to approach this with professionalism, with a degree of sauce on top, if that makes sense, because he'll be looking to play his best in this game, as he always does. But I mean, there's a little bit more on this one. There'll be a little bit more eyes on him than there would normally be. But knowing him as I do, he'll probably put that behind him and have a really good game. So
yeah, I reckon he could be it's going to be interesting because all the focus is going to be on him, and also he's battling against some of the hardest attackers in the league. So I feel like if he does have a wobbly moment, I think
Well,
regardless of what the truth is, people are going to be looking at that and going, "Oh, is his head in a different place?" But then if he has an absolute masterclass, he might have added 5 million onto what Liverpool are going to try and pay for him in January.
And
If
let's be
Leone's
honest, he
out,
will be
they're gonna-
tested because Liverpool going forward are pretty formidable.
especially against Isak.
Exactly. So
There is no Ekitike though, as well.
no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because
Suspended,
Isak
isn't he?
will be starting,
Yes.
which is probably
There's
we
Isaac,
think.
there's a certain Mo Salah, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he will be tested tomorrow, I'm sure.
I wonder if Wirtz plays in this game. Obviously, he was left out in their last game. He was on the bench.
You would think he would start.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think they're best midfield at the moment. And I think Florian Wirtz is a very good player. I think he'll come good eventually. But right now on form, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans would agree, their best midfield is McAllister, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch.
I don't think anyone would disagree with that anyway. But the problem is, and we've spoken about this quite a few times this week alone, that when you've got a player that's cost you £116 million, you have to play him. You have to get him in there. I was talking about it the other day with Alex. He felt that he's a little bit lightweight. He's not incredibly physical. And coming into a league like the Premier League, you've got to be able to kind of hold your own a little bit more. So the only way he's going to really do that is by getting game time.
But I agree with you in a way. But do they have to play him? If he doesn't play, say he doesn't start most of their games this season, and they win the league, what's the difference? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you paid £116 million or £16 million for him. If you win the league, you win the league. Szoboszlai is an international top player. So is Gravenberch. So is McAllister, World Cup winner. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't just be because you're a big transfer fee, you walk into this team. If you're not, good enough to be in this starting 11, don't put him in it. Don't shoehorn him in it. And I think Arne Slot is the type of manager that will play players on merit, play the best players. I don't think he looks and says, well, we paid that much money, I've got to get him into this team. I think he's going to say, look, he can be a good option for us.
And that's
right now,
that's also
we're not going
possibly
to shoehorn him in.
That's also possibly the only way you can manage all these like big money signings and superstar players that Liverpool now have. Obviously, like AGT has been going on about Liverpool are the new galacticos and stuff, and I think he's over exaggerating a bit, but it's not too far off because you've gone and signed some of the best players in all the different leagues.
Yeah.
Like one of the best strikers in the Bundesliga, and then one of the best midfielders in the Bundesliga, and probably one of the best strikers in the Premier League, etc., and one of the best young fullbacks in Germany and in the Premier League across the last few months.
You do make a good point there, Christian, because it's sometimes, as well as the big fee and who should play in the meritocracy aspect, there's what I call the horses for courses aspect. So, for example, and I know we're going to talk about this later, I was suggesting on the AFTV show yesterday that it might be an idea for Arsenal this weekend to rotate a little bit in midfield, Joe Linton and co. You know what I mean? So that might apply in the Liverpool game. You might look at it and think, actually, you know what? Maybe Wirtz is a little bit lightweight at this stage. So let's go with the three you said: Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and
especially
McAllister.
like Palace away is such a game where you need to be physically strong because those guys will outrun you. They'll try and outmuscle you. You've got
Absolutely.
Jean-Philippe Mateta will just try. Obviously, Liverpool's two centre backs, Kanate and Van Dijk, are fantastic, but Mateta will be there fighting Gravenberch as well. He'll be fighting everybody. He'll be looking to get him behind. But you touch on the Arsenal game.